Welcome to PPR Podcast number 161. My name is Paul Rudy, and I work with the star of the podcast who sits in the right seat. His name is Burt Grossman. Burt, co-host of the PPR, works for the San Diego Strike Force, once the 8th pick in the NFL draft many moon ago.
You want me to introduce our guest now?
Yes, that's the routine we go through. Would you like to introduce our man in the hot seat?
I would. From Cathedral Catholic, Luke Westfall.
Luke,
hey,
welcome, sir. Welcome to Podcast 161. How you doing?
Yeah. Pretty good. How are you guys?
We're good. We're above ground.
We are, barely.
Hey, where are you right now? Are you in school?
No, I left early because we have lunch right now anyway, so I was like, I'll just do this at home.
Oh, nice.
Appreciate it. You're coming in.
We have a short day. Our lunch starts at like 11.
Oh, jeez.
I know. I don't know when you get into our day. Hey, Luke, we were talking before we got on camera. You played baseball, you do rugby, you do football, and then you say you do track and field too?
Yeah, I throw, yes, sir.
What do you throw?
So I threw 43-10. I just joined last week because I had an ankle problem going on for like a month. So I just got cleared. So I joined last week. And then I threw 43-10, I believe.
All right, can I ask a dumb question? When you throw, is that discus?
Shot put. That's shot put. What do you think Luke could be me in
shot
shot put right
sorry,
now?
yeah, shot put.
So all right, what was your state record?
I'm going to say, we're going to have a bet. You think right now at my age I could beat him?
No. Could you?
I don't know. That's what
What was your best in high school?
64.
Oh!
But I mean, I did, like you were saying, baseball. You did baseball since you were, 8 years old? Yeah. I started track.
Hold it, Luke. What's your best so far?
43-10.
So I started shot put when I was literally in 6th grade.
So you would have to make up. He would have to have declined by 20 feet. Do you think you've declined by 20 feet?
I think I'd hurt myself. I might be able to get one out there, but it would be hurt.
Luke, what do you think about that?
That's crazy.
Well, what's the state record in California?
You said what?
What's the state record in California right now?
I'm not sure.
Oh, it's probably in the 70s.
Our track coach we just got last year. It was my first year playing track. He threw, I want to say like 70 something, but he was in the Olympics. I want to say for throwing.
Man, the kid that beat me in the indoor national championship went on to the Olympics and then set the world record. Randy Barnes, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Burt, I underestimate what a great athlete you were.
Thanks. And we had indoor track too, so we had 2 seasons. So I had a long list of histories. All right. So I'm gonna just ask both of you guys. Talk about what the similarities between that movement and being a good lineman. Is there any strength movements or training that crossovers? Yeah.
Is there crossover between the two?
It's good for your stab move if you're into that.
Yeah.
Well, tell me.
It works like your explosiveness and like I don't know. Coach Doyle tells me all the time to do it. Like I never wanted to do it. I thought it would be boring. Like last year when he made me do it, but he said it's good for like college coaches to see that you do other sports, and then it also works on your explosiveness, like your hip drive, and then it kind of gets you stronger to an extent. But
does it get you out of spring football?
You said what?
Does it get you out?
No, it does. No.
No.
Football comes first.
So you still have to do the spring workouts?
Yeah, but we have to start our spring football. We're doing morning workouts. We've been doing that since Christmas time. So I do that in the morning and then practice after school. But our spring football, I believe, starts like May 12th or something. So we'll see. I forget last year how it all worked out, but
there's no getting out of spring football.
No. Coach Doyle will not let that.
Hey, do you get a lot of pushback? Because you play rugby too, and you have offers for college, and I know how Coach Doyle is. Does Cathedral give any pushback on doing football and rugby? Because I know some schools do.
What do you mean pushback?
Like they don't want you to do it because they're worried you're going to get hurt?
No, yes and no. Not really. Like for our rugby coaches kind of don't want us to do 5 days a week lifting in the morning and stuff, but Coach Doyle kind of makes you come. And then if you have a game that day, so say Friday we have workouts, and then you have a game that day, a rugby game later that day, we just go lighter, but we still work out.
Football is king still.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I'm just other stuff for like a little hobby kind of side thing, even though I like it still, but.
Well, let's talk about the issue that is, I think, going to be when the preseason polls come out. Who's going to be number one, do you think?
I think it's still going to be Lincoln, Granite, and then I think Cathedral will slip into the open talk. Carlsbad's always good. I think it's going to be the same ones, except Cathedral will move up. They've gotten some new faces.
Yes, and I, you know, a lot of guys that you used to be arch rivals with are now going to be called teammates. Could you talk about the exodus from that other school to your school and what it means for your senior campaign, in your view?
Yeah. So at first we were all like, kind of like, what, Saints kids, like we're not to like them and stuff. And nobody liked them. But they came over, and by like the third day, they started to talk a lot more. We started like whatever, and they're one of the coolest kids I know. Like all the linemen, especially, I know them obviously the most, and they're like they've been here for 3 years, so they filled in really well.
Well, I mean, they live a similar life. I mean, you guys, you know, you play to the same code, so that's not going to be a stretch.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because at the start of the when they first started coming to workouts, they could not even get through a full workout. They said it's one of the hardest things they've ever done, and I finally, like, after like a couple weeks, they got used to it. But yeah, they were like, nah, I can't do this. They would skip out on sets and stuff like that just because they were like dead.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So, love that.
All right, so walk us through on a hard day during those off-season workouts. Just run us through. What are some of the things you guys do?
So say Monday, we'll split up. So skills we'll go outside first. We'll all warm up as a group, as a team, and then skills go outside first, working on running, like sprinting technique, footwork, just like, and field stuff. And then while that's going on, the bigs will be in the weight room, lifting, chest. Monday we work on upper body, so we'll do bench and stuff. And then after 45 minutes, so 6:45, we'll switch, and then bigs will go outside, do that same stuff, similar stuff. It's a little different. And then skills will be in the weight room. And then after that, we'll go out, and depending how much time we have, we'll do conditioning or, I mean, fun stuff. Sometimes it'll be fun, but, you know, just work. And then we'll go back in and shower and then go to school. Is
there a tire involved? I heard something about lifting some tire.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain, but we do red on red Monday, gray on gray. It's all football, and it has to be all football stuff. So it has to be football shirts. We get some of that. I mean, sometimes people lose some, and then we'll just have to get more. But red on red, gray on gray. Wednesdays, black on black for defense, and then red on red for offense. Thursdays, gray on red, I believe, and then Fridays, red on gray.
Got it.
I gotta ask one more Saints question.
Sure.
And then if we somebody, whoever shows up like with that, either late obviously or without the tire, wrong stuff, wrong colors, they'll have to do a stadium and then a lap.
So you have to know the dress code for that particular workout day.
Yeah, we have it written down. It's in the group chat, so there's not really any excuses, I guess.
But still, if you mess up, you're screwed because you're going to pay for it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So look, one Saints question again. So like the first day of school, when the Saints guys noticed there was girls on campus, did they look like distracted days and had to adjust?
Like, they don't really talk to girls that much, but they're scared, but.
Well, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, when's the last time you played with a quarterback who was being recruited by Ohio State? I mean, that's got to be exciting.
Yeah, that's insane. I just talked to him early this morning, congratulating him. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We need our O-line to perform this year so he can throw the ball, and then we'll be good. But,
I saw you just got your first offer to Sac State yesterday.
Yeah. I was up, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I guess because, we go back to the track thing and it happened with me. What's your first love? Is it football? Is it rugby? Like, do you ever see yourself maybe going to college for rugby?
That's what I always get asked, but not really. Like, I like it. It's good to do for a season, but there's a reason why I'm not playing like club rugby and playing for like the Mustangs, just because I don't like it that much to do all year round, especially when I have football to focus on. But it's just a thing to keep me in condition through that little period of time, toughen me up a little bit, and then recovery after that, and then summer or spring we start back up.
All right, I want to follow up on a couple things because I don't want to just walk away from the Sac State thing, but let's do them in order. We brought up Brady Palmer. Could you talk about, I mean, you obviously you played against him and you saw him wing the ball around. Have you seen him in a workout yet? Does he look like an Ohio State quarterback?
So we work out at different times in the morning, like I said, but I saw him on Twitter, or no, actually I saw him in person. This was like a couple weeks ago, and I think he was benching. I think he benched 275 for his max, and I've never seen a kid that weigh that much and bench that much. I was really impressed. But yeah, he's strong for sure. He's not weak, and he's not going to get hurt out there.
So you're going to have one of the best quarterbacks in the county behind center.
The best.
Yeah, I mean, well, you could make that argument. He's getting recruited by Ohio State. So we'll talk more about him. We'll get him on eventually and have him talk about you. But the Sac State offer, is that all Donnell Pumphrey, is it?
So I've been talking to him for like a year now, since after sophomore year. He's such a cool dude. But I went up there on Saturday for like their Hornets Day thing. And then I talked to the head coach and the D-line coach, and then that's when they offered me. They just wanted to see me in person, I think. That's what they said.
They're building a pipeline to San Diego, are they not?
Yeah. They got Jerome Roberts, right?
Jerome Roberts, DeVal from Madison.
Who else they get? They got somebody else too, I thought.
Yeah, there was somebody else. So they got at least 3 kids, and I know there's more. So could you see yourself going to college, Sac State?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was fun. I want to when it comes down to it, I want to go back up there and just check it out. But we stayed. Me and my dad went up there. We stayed in downtown, right by the King Stadium, and it was like reminded me of San Diego downtown, but just smaller and lower, smaller buildings. But it was really cool.
I think you'll be getting a lot more offers. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
how many did you have? That one. No, I'm sorry.
Hey, between us, we had 101 offers. Right?
That's true. Hey, you're the only 3-year starter. Are you the only 3-year starter left, or did anybody else in your class?
Yeah, sophomore year. Yeah. Our first game was Modern Day when you guys had it live on TV.
Oh, okay. So you're the undisputed leader of the team then, I would assume.
I guess, yeah.
What does that entail? Is that a role you accept, or is that a role that is thrust upon you?
I'm trying to work on my leadership skills, I guess you could say, a lot more. It's definitely one of the hardest things to do, I feel like, because you gotta be a leader without putting your team down, without like talking back, and just leading by example. I feel like that's my biggest thing, is leading by example, because I don't talk a lot. I'm just more of like just work. And so if I can lead by example and then talk maybe a little bit, that should be good.
I assume you're a captain then. So as a captain of the team, what is a captain called upon to do? Were you ever a captain?
Oh yeah, I was.
I can't imagine anyone going to you to solve a problem.
Nobody did.
Because you're a problem.
That's why I've never won a championship.
So young man, I guess you can work on your leadership skills, but I always thought kind of leaders were more born than made. I mean, you either have it or you don't have it. I mean,
we don't have captains at Cathedral. Coach Dole used to do it, I think, and then he stopped doing it just because he thinks, I think just people that want to step up will step up. But yeah, leadership. I agree. Leaderships are just born, but to a point. For example, Ty Cortez last year, I always looked up to him, and he's a leader. And like Marcus Radcliffe, you could say, those were guys that I always looked up to, but they never talked that much. They just led by example, and I would see them working hard. And I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta step up my game. It's not all about hyping up your team, it's just because I don't want to talk and then not do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I absolutely know what you mean.
Yeah. Speaking of Coach Doyle, you think Coach will ever retire?
I don't know why. I heard something about him retiring like during the season or something, like soon or after our senior year. But no, he's gonna be there for a while.
And who would be?
Definitely.
Coach Montali too. I don't think he'll ever retire. Always your staff is always the same.
I think he's going out when Coach Doyle goes out. I don't think they're gonna. I think they're sticking together the whole way.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you guys? Yeah. You know the crazy thing? Was it last year, the year before? You guys have like that. I've never seen the VIP section up there in the end zone with the TVs and a bar. You ever seen anything like that?
Zach, that's new. So that's it's called the Zach. But that's new. I think that was the first year we had it. Was my junior year. But they have like a bar right there, and I don't know if it's invite only or like how it works, or you have to rent it out.
I think it is.
Or no, I think I think it's for alumni, or at least most of the time. Sometimes you can rent it out, but it's for alumni, and they can go and just chill out there, watch the game.
And it's called the Zac with a Z?
Yeah, the Zac. Mm-hmm.
And why is it called the Zac?
I knew you were going to ask this. I've been told this a bunch of times, but I can't think of it out of the top of my head.
Was it named after a person, or did somebody?
He was a teacher there.
It was named after.
And did he pass away or something?
He did. I think he had cancer in his family.
That's what it was. It was a kid that passed away.
So it has emotional significance, and it's
yeah.
All right, yeah, I kind of remember Coach telling us about it. So you're working hard now. Hey, can I ask a couple of rugby questions? Do you ever go to a Legion game? Do you ever go watch them?
I haven't. I've gotten invited to go to one, or like I forget who asked me, but I didn't go. But I might go to one next year, or how does their season work? When are they even in season?
They're playing right now. They're 5-1. 5-1 right now.
I might go with my grandpa because he loves rugby, but I might just go watch because I've heard it's pretty fun. But
what's more demanding to play in your view?
Like physicality wise?
Yeah. Well, where are you more sore?
Definitely football, in my opinion. I think rugby. Actually, no. Rugby can be physical. I mean, I think football, but injury wise, definitely football is more physical. Gets me injured a lot more than rugby does. Everybody thinks that rugby is more physical and whatever because no pads and you're tackling people, but it's like they teach you tackling form where you're not going to get a concussion, you're not going to get slammed on your head, and if you just do all that right, then you'll be fine. I mean, I had the only injury I had in the last 3 years of playing rugby was a really bad black eye playing Torrey Pines this past year. And that's going to happen because I just got elbowed. But I'm not gonna go out there and get a concussion and get CTE. Do
you have a picture of that black eye?
Yeah, let me find it.
Oh, you got to. I want to send it. I want to use it for this podcast. We don't need it now, but
actually, it was pretty bad.
All right, you're gonna send it to me for when I clip stuff up. Okay, I'm gonna need a bunch of stuff from you in a little bit, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Hold on, do you actually, because I hear this debate a lot, it's rugby tackling versus NFL tackling and the hip drop thing. Do you use your rugby tackling during the football, or are you guys basically the same or different?
Yeah, yes, that's a big part why I think it helps too. It helps in that kind of place. I mean, during football, like if I'm playing a game, I just find it like you just get any way to like bring the guy down, obviously, but rugby just helps from staying low. And I mean, driving your legs. So there's definitely a connection between rugby tackling and football.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
With this hip drop rule now in the NFL, is rugby tackling then on the way out? Is rugby tackling the same thing as the hip?
Oh,
is that two different things?
I think to a point it's similar because rugby, if you're running behind the guy and then you do that, yes, but. Like if you're just straight up on a guy and you rugby tackle, that's fine. Because all you do it's pretty easy. All you do is get really low when you're going to tackle somebody, and then with this shoulder, and you step with your left foot and just pick pick them up and by the legs and just turn them over.
Got it.
Roll, I guess. But I don't think that's the hip drop. No.
Who have you hit the hardest, do you think, in your football career? Who's going to remember your name?
I mean, I did have one pretty big hit from the helix running back, kind of like a blindside hit almost. Like he was getting tackled and he turned around and I was right there.
Kevin Allen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not for sure if it was him or not. But yeah, it was this past year, and then also against this kid against Camino, our last game where we lost. It was a pick, and I went to go block, and it was kind of I got a penalty, or I think a different kid got a penalty for a different thing, but I should have got a penalty for that too, probably. But I hit him pretty hard. But
you're forgiven.
There's not enough space for D lineman to generate to get a big hit.
Forgiven.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly.
You can't generate any space in D line. You can never get big hits.
Can we talk about
Like,
last
big hits that I've gotten were like a run up the middle or a pass, and I just sprint downfield and then just put my shoulder down. But I'm not gonna get a big hit from, getting a sack or anything.
Right.
Just because it's so.
Last year, everyone, your school is a victim of high expectations, and that everyone expects you to be an open division team every year. They expect you. Let's just face it, we've gotten used to you winning a lot. You play this murderous schedule, somehow survive it, and then you have these sensational. I've been here in town for 25 years, and I've seen three incredible seasons that every school would dream of having, and they kind of expect that all the time. So when you have a year that doesn't live up to that kind of hype, what's it like being a Cathedral Catholic Don when things aren't at that level?
It sucks. I mean, you see it too in the games. I mean, you show up first couple games of the season, there's people there, a bunch of people, whatever, and then if we lose right there, you keep going, and each game just gets less and less people. I mean, the next day, people are saying, I mean, the Saints game was probably the worst feeling I've ever had. That was terrible. I didn't even come. That was on a Thursday, and I was pretty beat up, and I didn't even come the next day to school. Probably a good thing I didn't come, but apparently, yeah, there's just a lot of talk, like what happened, blah blah. Everybody talks about the football games, and just sports in general. It's a big thing at Cathedral, and with two bad years in a row, like really bad years for Cathedral. Like, I mean, at least all the juniors now that are going to be seniors, like knows what it's like to lose, and we don't want that next year, and that will not happen.
No. So are you? What's your prediction? I mean, obviously you guys want to go to the Open and win the Open. I know that,
Yeah.
but realistically,
Yeah.
is that realistic?
That's the goal. Yeah, for sure. I think we can definitely make Open. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much because, like I said, I don't like to talk. I just like to perform. But I think it's definitely possible. That's why it's on our goal list. And then the other thing after we do that, win CIF, is state, and that's also a goal of ours. So, I mean, it's definitely possible. We just gotta do it now and work.
Yeah, because there's really only a few teams if you look, and we go around and do all the games, and most of the 99% or 90% say we want to win a CIF championship, but there's really only like 4 or 5 schools that will say Open straight out.
Yeah, and we were going back to the preseason rankings. I agree Lincoln would be on that list, but now it looks like Lincoln's going to have to play nothing but
away games,
neutral games. So that would, Granite Hills obviously is going to be in the conversation, but they've lost a few kids. Mm-hmm. Carlsbad doesn't have Julian Sayin. The coach's son is going to have to step up, but there's reasons to say that I don't think St. Augustine's going to be in the conversation. So
no,
at least.
They would have been.
Yeah, they might. Oh, they sure would have been. But they lost a lot of players. So why not? Why not Cathedral?
No, I mean, that's like I think if we playing D1 is a letdown, especially for this team we have for next year. I mean, it was I think it was a letdown also for last year to a point, especially losing in the first round, I believe. We had a team that could have done way better, but we didn't. So whatever. And then this next year, though, there's no excuses for not making the Open division, in my opinion.
And that's my point. Those teams, the 4 or 5 or 6 teams you talk to, there's only 4 or 5 or 6 of them that if it's not Open, it's a They don't want D1 championship.
Right.
That's a letdown for them. It's a bad season.
And I just want to, Helix obviously in that conversation, Madison, all the same.
Usual suspects.
All the usual suspects are going to be in that conversation. I don't mean to poo or leave anybody off the list.
Well, we have to see who graduated, who left.
Yeah.
Helix lost a lot.
I mean, Lincoln's loaded. They've got, but not having a home game hurts.
Yeah.
And they got that.
Do they not have a home game?
Well, it looks like their field is going to be not playable.
Oh, why is that? Are they redoing it?
It looks like hand grenades have gone off. I mean, there are holes in the turf. It's just
terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd want to play on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that it's going to be safe enough to play on.
I believe we're playing them home this year.
Basically, their field looks like Coach Montali does on game day. Like it just came out of the garbage dumpster.
Could you talk a little bit about him? We had him in the podcast, and that guy's funny.
Who is it?
Coach Montali.
Oh.
Is he funny to you, or is he just funny to us?
No, he's hilarious. I always joke with them, and there's points where we need to be serious and points where we can kind of mess around with some of the coaches, and he's one of the guys that I can mess around with and get serious with at the same time. But he's so funny. I just talked to him last week. Because he comes our Wednesday morning workouts because that's when we do field work. But besides that, we don't see him unless you have a class with them. But we don't see him until spring and then summer. But I love always talking to him. Always wears the same hat, same glasses.
Doesn't shave.
That hat looks like it might walk away one day.
Yeah. Doesn't shave.
Doesn't shave. I don't even know if he showers like the week of the game. He's one of the superstitious. I'm not going to shower for a month before the game.
All right, well, young man, we're going to let you go. You got anything else you want to wrap this up with? Oh, hey, just quickly, talk about your baseball career.
Okay, so.
And why you're not playing.
So I started, when I was 8, played rec for a couple of years, then went straight to travel ball. Played for a few different travel teams. Started talking to a couple colleges in my 8th grade year after the Arizona World Series tournament. It's just this big tournament in Arizona. And I wasn't going to play football because I played Pop Warner for 2 years, but I was really little, so I don't really remember it. But when I wasn't supposed to play football. I didn't want to, but my parents made me. They were like, "You need to do this, blah blah." So I started it, and after first day of practice, I said, "I'm not playing baseball anymore." I was just burnt out, and it was kind of a big deal. My parents, because of how much my parents were dedicated to me for baseball,
right?
And just paying for all like the private lessons and just paying for all the tournaments. Because they love baseball, and that's what I did my whole life. So that was my main thing. And then they finally let it be.
All right.
I would have kicked you out of the house after spending all that money.
All right, young man.
You've been looking like Coach Montali walking down the street.
We're going to call it a conversation. This is what I need from you. Right. If you have any pictures of those workouts or videos that you might have that I can share, I need you to email them me to prudy@kusi.com.
Or you can text them to me, right?
No, I want them emailed to me because that way it's faster.
Okay.
Prudy and young man, I need them as quickly as you can get them to me because I want to work on this tonight.
Wait, what do you want? What do you want me to send you?
Any pictures of your off-season workouts or any videos you might have. And if you don't have any, then you don't have any. Don't sweat it. Any pictures of your rugby playing days, any good stills that I can use. Please make sure you own them because I'll get in trouble if they belong to somebody else and then they sue me for money. So pictures that you've taken or the person who took them, that they're not going to sue me. Secondly, I need the black eye picture. Thirdly, I need the black eye picture. And then any football pictures of yourselves that you own that I can use during this interview.
Okay.
This is how it plays out. Tomorrow we're going to post the interview on the YouTube page. It's just going to be raw. And then later in the day on Tuesday, I'm going to start posting my favorite clips, of which are going to be your rugby days, the Saints joining you. Okay. If you have any pictures of, we got Brady Palmer, blah, blah, blah. And that's, if you have any pictures with you and Coach Montali, I'll take those too. Yeah. If you do, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, and try to get to them as soon as you can, because I'm going to be working on this in a couple hours.
What's your email?
P-Rudy, R-U-D-Y, at KUSI.com. P as in Paul, P-Rudy, R-U-D-Y, at KUSI.com. Send me any stuff that you think is good, and it can be as much or as little as you can. I would appreciate it, and we'll make you a star tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you, Luke, and have a safe day, okay? PPR Podcast number 161 is over. Turn off the machines.